The Wave is the first ever Norwegian disaster movie. It's about a rock slide that goes into the fjords and creates an 80-meter high tsunami that hits a local community after 10 minutes. The idea for The Wave came from a news article we read about these tsunamis that we've had in the fjords in the past, where you have these rock slides go into the fjords, and because they're so narrow, they create very high tsunamis. And we've had a couple of them back in the 30s, and then sometime in the 80s, geologists discovered there's a crack in the mountainside in Norway's most popular and beautiful fjord, and it keeps expanding each year, and at some point this thing is actually going to happen. Making a disaster movie, you have to find that balance between all those horrible things that happen, and also creating characters you care about, and because it doesn't matter how big that wave is or how spectacular those VFX are if you're not caring about the people in front of them. So we try to take our time to get to know the characters before everything happens, and I think, yeah, you have to find that balance. Kristoffer Joner is one of the best actors we got in Norway, and when we were looking to cast our movie, he was really the obvious choice, and he gives so much to the character and creates, I think, a disaster movie hero that we haven't seen on screen before. Making the movie, we of course also had to keep in mind the people that live with these threats each day, and try to be respectful to their feelings, as well as creating an entertaining movie for a big audience. When you're making a disaster movie, there's lots of tropes to the genre, and some of them you have to embrace, or you won't have a disaster movie. And some of them we've tried to kind of turn on its head and maybe give a new angle to some of those things. What I learned from The Wave is to try to find that balance between creating memorable characters and having an emotional impact, but still creating spectacle and working with visual effects and practical effects and making an exciting movie. And that's something I hope I can bring to the Tomb Raider movie. One of my favorite things about being a director and making movies is watching them with an audience. And watching The Wave with an audience has been such a pleasurable experience. The first time we screened it was actually in this place where it will actually happen. And that was a very emotional experience, I think, for everybody. And since then, seeing it at the Toronto Film Festival and here in LA, it's been so nice to see how it works across the globe, really. At the heart of The Wave is this family that's about to move from this place. The husband, he's working as a geologist at the center that monitors the mountains there. And I think in a movie like this, you have to have people you care about, and that's what we've tried to do with the family, and to give room for their emotional interactions. To get the intensity that we were after when making this film, we had to make sure that as much as possible of the effects were practical, and to really put our actors through the strains of being in the water, freezing, fighting for their lives. And I think that shows up in the movie.